Finally, you turned the mic on. Well done.
I'm a pro.
Ha ha ha, that's hot. Need the coffee more than I have out my hand. Ah, God, it hurts so good. That sounds worse when you can't see, but yeah, whatever. That sounds even worse. Hello Internet, I'm Firebolt and welcome to Project Highrise. This is another one where I might actually run out of money before I finish actually showing off the thing. Because I'm terrible at managing money as it turns out. Even though I love this is another little manager thing. You build a tower and you have like offices that you can build there. You can build apartments, you can build little shops, and you do need to build little shops and restaurants to keep people happy, as well as managing services and all that jazz and constructing new floors. Basically you build a tower, it's 2D, although it's not shit like that tiny tower one, because that's just like one room before. You just build a tower block basically, but also you can go underground if you want. And you can build it however you like, because I mean, I have another one of this which I will show off where I've got unlimited money, which I'm used to playing with, so I just get to build infinite floors and go, ooh, what looks nice here. And basically the game is actually just trying not to piss people off by having too much competition around. So I just have to lower their rent. Yeah, but with that, I'm allowed to build it however I want. But the way that I built that was, I think every 2 floors I have a bridge, which is a bridge of 2 floors, which you can do if you fiddle about with the construction a little bit and place things in slightly weird places where they shouldn't really exist, but it's fine. So you can have 2 towers together being bridged, and I have offices on one side and apartments on one side. But I'm going to probably just play this so it makes the most sense economically. So I'm just going to start a new game here. Let's at least go for medium, and let's go for extra large. And West Monroe Street is a stupid name. Let's call this, I don't know. No, let's give it a number, because it's weird, because American ones always have like 4 digits in them because they have really long streets. Either that or they just have weird numbers. But I'm actually going to just have it where I'm just going to call it something stupid. Just 666 Boopy Boop Lane. There we go. Difficulty medium so that I don't absolutely fail. The idea is to be a functioning tower block. So, oh yeah, there's also a whole system of utilities and shit like that. Currently, since we only have a construction office and no tenants, the idea is tenants and they pay rent, and then you have to balance that with services that you provide your tenants, along with managing utilities and all that jazz. So right now we have $5,000, I would presume, as well as 2 construction workers who are currently on their way in here. We have Kathy and Carol. You can get more construction workers, but you need upgrades and shit to do that, and there's a whole system of influence to do with oh, that's something else. But yeah, operations, and you can get different things like that in there. Oh, and also there's a whole system of like adding art to shit or decorative elements. Apparently that's an advanced thing. Okay, you need extra prestige for that, because you can't just put art in a hallway and call it a building. That's what an art gallery is, that's not a building. Anyway, so let's begin just by building some offices. Oh, and we should probably take on some contracts, because they're good for getting money. Diverse group of 16 offices. Oh, and also I need a proof of concept, which is to get $1,000 in rent every day. That's not profits, I think that's just revenue that's to do with rent. Anyway, let's just start with offices, which you can get here. Right now I can't get any of these, but you can get loads of bigger things, and you got apartments here. Right now we've just got tiny studio apartments there, and you can get all the way up to like penthouse apartments there and shit. And then you got all these restaurants here, as well as rooftop ones, but you need them to be over a certain level, and you have to do loads of media campaigns where you get buzz from different people visiting your city. You also get visitors that just go to the shops or restaurants in your building and aren't actually workers or apartment residents, that sort of thing. And you got all these stores here as well as all these services where it's just like, who the fuck needs helicopter charters? Who actually needs helicopter charters? They're rich twats, but... And then you've also got home services for various people where you can get I don't know, home decor services? So people can have better interior design in their shitty one-bedroom apartment. They're probably just the penthouse apartment people that would be able to afford that kind of thing, but anyway. Oh, and you also got lifts and stairs, but stairs take longer to walk up, of course, and lifts can break. And also, they need to be in one line, so you can put stairs anywhere, but that can sometimes be a bit awkward. Anyway, I'm going to start as I mean to go on and put a lift there, because it's a real faff having to replace them all once you've already got that, because then you just got one gap there. I'll just have stairs down to the basement, because you can fucking walk. It's not that far, it's just going down. We'll start with a few offices here, and we have utilities wise, we've got all the lines running through here. It's just showing electricity right now because I'm on electricity, but it's got phone lines running through there. And they all go through the wiring cabinet. Water and gas can go through plumbing cabinet, so I'll just put I guess it would be worthwhile putting one there just in case I need it at some point. Or I could actually, because I'm probably going to need like somewhere for people to eat, I'm just going to put a little small restaurant there, which is basically just like a food stand or something. But just for now, I'm going to put a plumbing closet here in case anyone so desires to have that, although I will need like extra meters and manifolds, that sort of thing. And I'll need switchboards, and you need all that jazz just to have extra bits and pieces. Anyway, let's move in some tenants here. So really, I need, 4 insurance agents, 4 accountants, 4 lawyers, and 4 creatives. Right now, to have legal and creative offices, I need to have more small restaurants. So like that food court place, that would do. But I might need to have even more, so I'll just build like another floor. Right now, I think insurance are like everyone needs copy services, I think. And these guys need courier as well. Legal, I think they're the same, and creative needs bottled water because they're fucking Mac users. Although to be fair, this video was edited on a Mac by me, so yeah. So just add services before you move them in. Otherwise, they're going to get very annoyed with you and move out, and that's going to be annoying and expensive and blah. Anyway, copy service there. This is really annoying that it doesn't fit properly, but we'll just have another transformer there because they're going to be the most in demand thing. Transformers. So we'll have enough for 20 offices, I think. Yeah, just have a small restaurant here, and we'll make that a wraps place. Oh, and we'll also need to run electricity across all these offices and over to there. Need to keep an eye on the money though, because if I start just spending willy-nilly, then everything will go crazy. Okay, we still need a greater variety of... Oh, we need cafes for the creatives. Oh, I'm sorry. You need to sit your Starbucks somewhere else. But we now have enough small restaurants for legal officers to move in, but they also need a phone line, so I'll need to get switchboards for that. I think most of them need a phone line. Some of them don't, some of them do, some of them are less awkward. Does this one? No, it doesn't actually, but I think most of the legal ones do. And can you fucking play? Let's just get some insurance people in, because they only want copy services and they're really easy to please. So we just got 3 insurance officers there. That's all our tower's doing. That should be positive in rent, and we're only paying to have this copy center here so that they can have that. And also, we've got a small restaurant here which is also paying rent. People will get annoyed at you and want you to lower their rent if they have too much competition. Basically, if they're not making more money than the rent. So you need to keep them supplied with enough customers, as well as not building too many restaurants. Which, if you want to build better offices, you need to build more restaurants. So it's a bit of a balancing act, I suppose. And those guys in the grey overalls are the people that will be working in the copy centre. So they'll be able to service quite a few people. If they do get overburdened with calls, you do have to build another one. And the copy centre will probably be the most busy one. I mean, for what we're actually going to get to in this video, they're going to be fine. I'll probably want to just quickly extend the basement just over as far as I can. That way, just so I've got some extra space to play with so I can install various services. So we may as well get on with building another floor. We'll try and get a cafe on this floor. We can also build outwards that way we're ready. But right now, just build upwards, I'd say. Although lifts are fucking expensive, so maybe you do want to build more horizontally, I suppose. I'll do that for the next block, I guess. Generally good to keep wiring closets and plumbing closets in the same place roughly, so that just runs up and you don't have to run wires across, because it won't just automatically wire up. It needs a wire running beneath or above it to connect up. So right, so we see here our daily expenses and revenues. Currently we're not making a whole bunch, so let's analyze what's going on here. A lot of them were one-time expenses, but we have got daily expenses that way exceed our rent revenues. So we need to get more offices in there quickly, as well as expanding this so that we've got more room and shit. And we need to just do this before we run out of money, basically. Let's just have a big line where we can have loads of offices here, basically a rent machine. This will be a bit heavy on the construction costs, but we should be fine. And since I've made it extra large, we've got tons of space. We can build all across this thing, like all the way over there. Imagine having a tower that big. It'd be fucking behemoth. And I think it can go like 80 floors up or something ridiculous. Yeah, the max is 40 floors actually, but you can get a thing in politics that lets you build higher, so you don't. Maybe there's some restrictions because you could take out planes, but why would they be flying that low unless a terrorist would be a bit concerning. Okay, so we need to get as many officers in here as possible so that we're making as much money as possible. And bam, 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 bam. Oh no, what have I done? You can just demolish without cost. And that's the thing that I like about this. It doesn't actually cost anything to just put these outliers in place, which doesn't really make sense if you think about it, but yeah, I like it that way. Okay, so let's try and get 4 of each type. We also need cafes if we're gonna entice the creatives in, and it would be good to get some. I mean, this is gonna be heavy on the daily cost and shit, but it is courier. That's gonna be for most people, and we'll get bottled water once we get the creatives going. Oh, we'll need to run electricity along. Be as frugal as you can with this, just go 1 tile into there. Oh, and we'll probably need some phone lines once we get going. Another insurance office, fine. You can also get adverts and shit if you're missing tenants, but okay, these guys are all fine for accounting. Copy and courier, all of them fine with electrical. We'll get the 1 legal guy in there. That's fine, copy and courier. Now currently don't actually have any more candidates for tenants, so we've just spent a lot of money doing something that we probably don't have enough people to actually do. Oh, we should move the cafe in here. Building needs 1 prestige for that. Donut shop then. Oh, we need water pipes for that, which means we'll need a meter in there. Oh, that costs. Oh, I can't actually afford it. So yeah, you're gonna have to move. Oh, that's gonna cost. Oh well. It's going to cost more to keep you there being whingy. Can we raise any of your rents? It's got a big weird machine that does all this for you. Yeah. Daily revenues still so far today. Are these guys not even paying yet? Come on. Or do I have to wait until the end of the day to figure out what they're actually doing? They seem to prioritize it if you break a lease to just tidy up the boxes there. And they also prioritize building new offices, new tenant places rather than building floors, which sometimes can be a bit annoying, but once you understand the system, it works. Okay, I have no money. I could get a loan, but they're annoying. Gonna have to go to the community bank to just get a quick loan. Oh, I've got amenities, but they cost too much, so I'm not gonna build them. Oh, and I can put art in and decorate shit. Ooh, I've got 1 prestige, so I can actually put a cafe in. That might slightly increase my rent and allow me to put creatives in. Cafe, White Rock Cafe. They don't even need water hookup. It's brilliant. Anyone want to move in? Creatives? Oh, they need bottled water. And a phone line. You are fucking pricks. Oh, and I need to put a switchboard in as well. And do I have anything else I could do? Oh, I've got a new thing here apparently. Ah, I can now put a mover's office in here so I can, what? Oh, I can relocate tenants from a building. As much as I understand, they really don't like that. The reason I've got all this new stuff is because I just got 1 prestige. fuck's sake, I'm still losing money. Oh, I need way more tenants. Come on. Well, they should just come in over time, but like, I'm gonna have to start putting out some ads. Legal could do with more of, and creative I could do more. They're the most expensive though. Let's get legal. Oh, that takes 3 minutes though. Fine, let's get an ad for creatives as well, because we're just wasting money here. And let's put a bunch of office spaces that we're not actually going to use here. Fuck that up royally. Oh, and look at all the worker drones coming in happily. I do like how everyone in the building has a name. So this guy working here is Charles, and he works at this place, and he'll go to certain places, and some of these guys get regulars, so those people will go there more often. They programmed a sort of logic into each of them. They'll go to lunch at certain times. They won't like to go as far, although the elevators will help. They'll try and go to things near their floor, that sort of thing. Really appreciate if literally anyone responds to these ads. Thank you. Okay, I need phones. I'll just run phones over here because I'll need creatives as well, which will want phones. I think we're missing one legal office after this. Oh, and it turns out we now not got enough electricity to power that thing, so we'll have to build another one here, which will be even more money. Fantastic. How the fuck are you meant to balance this? I think you're just meant to get larger and larger things and not go too ambitious too early. Or you just specialise in one type of thing and just get insurance officers, but then, you know, variety. We now got way too many creatives to do that thing anyway. Oh, we created a proof of concept. And our total revenues actually exceeded our total expenses. We are making money just about. Are we making money in daily? Yep. Okay, the main reason that we made even more money was because of that contract completion. If we complete another one of these contracts, we get another thing. So when can I can get apartments straight away. They just have to be above ground floor. Okay, so I'm gonna just build a teensy lobby here so that I can actually build my apartments on top of that thing. Let's make that glass because that's fancy. Oh, look at how modern we look. Oh, look at that. And it's all free because it's art. And then we can have an apartment up here, which is probably going to be shit, but hopefully they don't need running water. Okay, sorry, gonna have to ruin that. Ooh, I mean they need water hook up, and they need plumbers and gas, and they want trash here. Okay, well we'll build a trash can on the same floor. It's not like they need a lot of it. And we need water, and we need more space there to build the water thingy, and we'll just build a few more things there. But we are still vaguely making money. But you need to build in bulk, you need more apartments so you can have things off the same water hookup. Okay, yeah, I get that you need water, but we need to actually build the floor first. Ooh, you are really unhappy. You haven't even got an electrical hookup. I am sorry about that, man. I really can't help with the water, though. Build the fucking thing. There we go. You happy now? Thank you. Okay. Not sure exactly where the water's running, but it doesn't exactly show the 3D of it all, so... You know, where are these guys actually getting anything? Why do people just keep walking through other people's offices? Any more tenants? Why is there no one that wants to fucking work here? Come on, we just need a legal office. We'll just get another advert running. Oh, we can get another contract as well. Not a loan. We're going to be paying that for like a month. More people needed. Population of 50. Think I can do that? What's that? More rent revenues? Nope. Population is where it's at. Oh, and it's also just nice to like just watch them going by when you're zoomed out, because they look like little ants, especially when you got like 40 floors going on, which I have on my unlimited money one, which I will show you before the end of the video. They all have places they need to be. These guys always come back to here and then go off, and those guys make calls out and like, oh, I need this thing, and then they go off and have lunch and have dinner and come in the morning, get coffee, and oh, it's just nice to watch the building ticking along even when you're not working. Although then you start shitting yourself because you realise that you're bankrupt because you've just been looking at it for too long. One candidate? Seriously? Fuck's sake. I mean, at least it'll finish that contract, but fuck you. See, with the apartments, because everyone's looking for a fucking place to live, I don't think there's, like, we're looking for tenants sort of thing. I think it's just, you build a basic studio apartment and then someone decides, yeah, I'll move into that. At some point, they don't like hire out an apartment. They're just like, oh, there's an apartment there. But these guys, you just have to wait for them to be available for you. Although I think it does come in fast if you got like a higher prestige. And you get extra buzz for various things. Popular places generally buzz. I guess that's just sort of like people talking, oh, there's this fancy new restaurant, it's amazing. Or this shitty little cafe that just about makes sense to me. We have completed basic offices because we built that legal office. But still no one else wants to fucking work here. I'm fine. Oh, and also they set off fireworks every time, which is like, did you get permits for that? Because I'm not sure you're not allowed to set that off because people might be confused that it's like gunfire or something. Because around this part it's like, maybe. Boopy Boop Lane's a rough part of town. Even though they've got this great new low-rise coming in, but that's soon to be high-rise. Let's build another floor, because why not? We can have some stores on this floor if we've got enough money for it. Oh, but they need like storage bays and shit, so maybe not. But also, I haven't actually filled out those offices yet, so maybe I shouldn't be building new things quite yet, but whoops, I already did it. Daily report. Okay, we did spend slightly more today, but I think that's not daily revenue and shit. Yeah, we're just about making more money than we do everything. How much can I pay this back yet? Nope. How much of that is left to pay? Oh, that comes back with interest. Fucking bastards. One candidate again, just from an ad. I mean, I think there's plenty of candidates for restaurants and shit, so I'll just put one there. I can't really get stores because you need storage space for stores, and they take up lots of room. Let's get a donut shop in because we now have enough water to do that. When it is too high, look at your revenues. You shouldn't be paying less. You've got a fucking lunch market all to yourself. Oh, and I do like how, I mean, it doesn't really make sense that all of these are in overalls because you work in a photocopier room, you don't need overalls to do that. It's not like you can get very messy. These guys I understand, but I like how they've all got sort of colour-coded things where, I mean, they've all gone home now. Apart from these guys, because they just live here. Or girls. I don't know, I just say guys for everyone. Let's build another apartment. Those guys will actually appreciate me. You're temperamental, because you're just like, oh, it's very nice. I need to have gas. You know, I need to cook shit. And oh, it's too noisy and too smelly. You're right next to a donut shop, mate. It's gonna be noisy. And you want plumbers? It's like, who are you? Fucking take a basic studio apartment and get out of here. Still haven't got, oh, we got one creative person that came in. But they need, oh, they actually cost, oh, they cost to actually move people in. Oh, I see. I didn't realise that. Okay, well, I need to make enough money to actually do that. And people pay rent daily, so I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow to have that. But I also need office supplies for that. 113 per day. I can afford it. No, I can't actually afford to buy it. Oh, right. The reason why I've been getting so few people as tenants is, I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't run electricity to this person, so they was like, lights are out. And they just got mad at me. I was just like, oh, I just have to move the wires over. Right, so apparently, the reason that I've had so few people wanting to actually move in is because the economy was stagnating or something. That should start to heat up again, maybe. Come on, let's try finish this thing here. I just need the money and it takes a while to tick in. So you just have to sort of speed things up and watch the ant farm go until you got enough money to build things. Okay, let's try it. Oh, we can actually have another contract, I didn't realise that. Which should give us some money up front. Yeah. Okay, so we can actually afford some things. 3,000 or more, I think I can do that. So for that creative office, we need office supply stores, which with how much we make a day, we can just about afford in daily costs or whatever. There we go. And also we'll need to run a phone line across. So I think generally it's ordered in whoever pays the most rent, but also these ones cost more to actually build. So creative offices are a sort of long-term investment, I think. Insurance offices are just bam, 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 cheap, but don't really make a lot of money. So right now we're kind of just an office block with a few cafes and 2 apartments. It's a bit of a weird building, if I'm honest, but guess it works. 3 stories, just sort of there. Okay, I'm gonna put out a maybe slightly controversial opinion. I think this should be called the first floor. That just confuses me if that's called the first floor, because this is the first floor. The first floor. There's no fucking 0th floor, because 0th isn't a thing. This is the first floor. that's the second floor, that's the third floor. I think that makes sense. Because, look here. 3 floors. Building height, 3 floors. Even though it's got basement 1 depth, 3 floors. Makes sense. 3 floors, 1, 2, 3. Even though it says there 0, 1, 2. First floor, second floor, third floor. That's my humble opinion. I know most buildings put this as the first floor, but I think they're idiots. That just ends up confusing me, and I have to do a sort of mental conversion in my head like you would with 19th century and all that jazz. Ooh, and we just got another prestige, so we can actually get medium offices. Let's try one of those. Ooh boy, what do you guys need? Office supplies, janitorial and commercial printing. I need places that serve dinner. You need small stores and medium restaurants. Okay, well we'll just ignore that then. Oh, we can also have small 1-bedroom apartments. But they also need a great variety of stores and shit. Which is where the stores actually start coming in, and you need to build storage bays and all that shit. And oh, and I should probably put a trash can on this or something. Whoop. Anyway, I'm going to now just save this. I might come back to this at some point in my own time. 866 Boop Lane. I'm going to show you what I've done with my unlimited money one, because that one you can just sort of build however you want. Although you still have to keep in mind that people get pissed off if they're not making money. Okay, and also it just auto-saves if you quit to the main menu anyway, so that's quite nice, so you don't lose everything. I think I mentioned this on the podcast, Breaking Bollocks. I don't know what episode that. I think that was episode 30. I don't know when this is going out, so yeah. I think I did mention that I made a country in that, and the reason that this is called Gingerton Tower is because that was the capital, for reasons that are too long to explain. So I'll just go into this. Welcome to Gingerton Tower. It's a bit laggy right now because there's a lot of things going on the screen. How many floors is it even? 38 floors currently. I quite like that I've got just a little garden here where people can go in. This is always busy because at night all the storage workers come in and people can still visit the city. There's 93 people here and a population of over 1,000. So you can have loads of people here, and once I get... The idea is to basically max out the tower, and I've managed to get it up to 80 floors because I've done lobbying, which I've got all my offices for down here. I've got like aesthetics and politics and all that shit here. So you can use your influence to do that, and I've got loads of fucking buzz and far too much influence and all that jazz. I haven't apparently got even that many residents, it's just I've got so many workers down below here. It's ridiculous. Like, look at this fucking mesh, and look how many storage bays I'm using, and you can get the really large places actually use 2 floors. This is like a... It's not a large office, it's a HQ. And then the large stores, which I didn't even get to build a store. I don't think I've got many small stores apart from like on the few bottom levels, like this one here, Glenda's Books. Who even has that? We didn't turn a profit yesterday, yeah, because you're fucking Glenda's Books. And then we got like luxury stores once you actually get up to somewhere where we've been able to actually afford that sort of thing. Well, not afford it, but like we had enough prestige to do that. So we got jewelry stores and shit, and the large stores which are like fine cheeses and shit. Then we got 37B, although I have, even though I said I think this should technically be the 38th floor, I have named these so that in accordance with how most of the world actually does that thing. Just come down here, I mean you'll really notice that at like 9 AM, just the absolute rush. I've also just built a train station down here, fucking tons of storage bays. We got about 50 fucking copy services. It's ridiculous. As well as all the restaurants in the world. Yeah, you can get like luxury restaurants as well. Gourmet restaurants, I think they're called. Which you like fancy, like the French restaurant. Wow. As well as large restaurants, which are... I mean, most of these people don't actually turn a profit, but I've put their rent low enough that they don't kick up a fuss. So, the building's kind of failing, as like most of the places don't make enough money. I mean, the officers are pretty happy, I think, because they don't have to do much. Oh, and also you got renovations to do, because various things get worn down. Just renovate that myself. Although, you can put automated renovations once you got enough money. And I do, because I'm literally getting infinite money. Although I should know, that per day thing, that isn't because I'm making infinite money, that's just how much this actually makes in profits. Oh, and also it's really annoying when you got a fucking massive tower block with all these elevators going on, where one of them breaks down because it kind of just halts up the whole system. So you have to get some maintenance guy to go out and go rah, 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 and bang it a couple of times. I don't know. I think the maintenance guys kind of also live here. Okay, just wait for... Oh, Jesus, look at this. Look at the morning rush here. Most of those people are working in the basement just for random officers, and then you... and then you got, yeah, all the storage people go home after the night shift has ended as well. It's absolutely mental. And also you got all the trash collection shit, and I've got trash cans and recycling bins on every floor. And sometimes they get filled up, and sometimes I don't have enough room for things, because really right now... the way that I'm doing it is managing space. So just to sort of show you what I do with this sort of thing, I'm going to build my 39th floor, which is technically floor 38, but shh. Okay, so let's build along here. I believe this is a bridge floor, the top of a bridge floor, which means I'm going to put a rooftop restaurant because I've gotten enough height to actually start building rooftop restaurants. Because you can put like beer gardens in between the bridge pieces, which is nice. And then if you do that, then you know you've got enough space in those two between that tree, so that you can just do another bridge piece. I mean, it would look weird from the outside, and I've got to apologize because one of these towers is far bigger than the other. But that's just because I ran out of space on one of them. Yeah, because this one's pressed right up against the edge. I think this is actually on like a smaller level, I'm not sure, than what I was building my other one on. And once I actually start putting lifts here, my 5 construction workers, because I've got a large construction office along with the base one, will start just building everything they can here. Also does a weird thing where you sort of faff about by putting floors here and then building sort of little sky bridges off of it. It's weird. Oh, and also I've got a very nice thing here where I've got a special entrance where I've got a lobby here, which means oh right, I thought I had a protruding thing, but I also have all this art here that kind of gets in the way of putting more buildings here. Just all in a row, because there's a bunch of stuff you get from getting aesthetics that you can just put all in a row here. And then I think I put some of it in here. So I got loads of stuff in this massive lobby, which is 3 floors, which means that you can just have a nice entrance hall thing. And I've also got just a little sort of thing that I decorated at the start as a sort of entrance into the lobbyist part. Although it is an absolute mess here, because it's just basically utility closet after utility closet. Absolute nightmare just to power the whole building with various things. And it's absolutely inefficient because I'm not thinking about how much money it makes like I was with the other one. It makes no sense, really. But, you know, I think I'm having more fun with it. That you do have to think a bit more about, which is maybe a bit more interesting. I think it is. And it works as an actual game then, because then you have failure conditions, which is, I think, a sort of necessity for a game. But I just find it relaxing, although it's sometimes not relaxing, just to build a few floors here and just watch it all tick by. Anyway, I'm going to speed this up so that these guys can actually make some progress on this floor, because it's a fucking massive building to build all these floors on. Okay, so generally I have store here. Oh, that list's broken down. Fantastic, it was just built. I'll have loads of apartments here and then sort of switch that with store or restaurant, that sort of thing. And then I'll generally have a sort of nice couple of stores or a nice restaurant on the bridge pieces, and then I'll put offices on the other side along with some restaurants, but I won't put stores on this side, which, I don't know, I guess it makes sense because that's more for residents. And as you can see, there's just buzz and influence flying off of everything, so that's really ticking up fast when you start speeding it up. Previously I just used a lot of my buzz up on things that I didn't really need, just because I was just like, oh, I have extra buzz. These things now cost a fuck ton to actually get. Originally they cost like 100 buzz or something, but now they cost like 100,000 on top ones, which is really annoying for this contract here, because I need to do all the media outreach things. Then I think there's also like a Vegas expansion which allows you to build hotels and shit, which is an entirely different system where you have guests coming in and all that. But yeah, these guys have nearly finished building floors. I should probably put in some utility closets here. Well, wiring cabinets and plumbing things. Another one on the other side of the building, just so I don't have to run it across the whole thing, because that's expensive. Even though money's not really an issue, because again, infinite money. Even if I wasn't making revenues, even though if I wasn't making a profit, that just auto goes back up to 1 million. But I guess now, whatever it is above 1 million is a sort of nice measure of how successful I've been after that sort of boost. And I just realised it's paused, so that none of that's actually progressing. Construction work, you can sometimes do it in a very weird way, where the order that you've actually built it in, or the fact that they've just sort of pathed in, it's not really efficient how they build stuff, which sometimes can be a little bit annoying. Like, there's just one bit of floor missing there, so I can't actually build anything there until someone decides to go and build that. Even though that guy that went into that elevator could have easily built that. Let's put a medium store there, I'd say. Yeah, because right now I've got a pattern of medium store, large store. Medium store's current one, and I like to do it in order. So right now this has got appliances and shit, so that would be... well, appliances and housewares. So this one's going to be a cheese shop. Nice. Cheeses of Lincoln Park. And then I'll have some apartments across between these two elevators. We'll have a nice big one here, and well, we'll have two big ones here, sure. Oh, that's literally the same thing as happened there. Okay, well, I'll build something a little bit different then. Well, I might want to put another 2-level thing there. I don't know. I won't do that this time because I'm showing this off and I don't want to build another floor. Let's go 2-bedroom there, and then large 2-bedroom there, and then we'll have a tiny studio apartment here. We'll have a restaurant here. We don't want another medium restaurant. We'll go for... I don't know, we'll go for a gourmet restaurant, and then we'll fill out the other bit with an apartment if we can. Generally you want to have trash, and I like to have 2 trash and 2 recycling bins on each floor, which is basically 1 for each building, even though there's a bridge on these ones, but we'll put them that size so that they don't stink up the bridge. Okay, I want my rooftop restaurant to be sort of somewhere in the middle, I guess. So medium. Oh, I can have a large one. Although I don't actually have enough space on the bridge to do that, so maybe not. I might just do that on the last one I get to do. That way, and then if there's a store that'll fit there, a small store maybe. Okay, so now let's just fill this out with tenants. Oh, these guys are going to be complaining because they haven't actually got electricity. Do they need anything else? No. But the apartment residents definitely will, especially if they've got luxury things. So... luxury apartment there, large apartment there, and city apartment there. And we'll have, what was the last large restaurant I did? Brunch spot, so we'll want this one to be a waivers after brunch. Oh, this is actually a gourmet restaurant, okay. So this will actually be whatever's after Japanese. So a French restaurant. Bistro Arc-en-Ciel. I can't fucking... speak French, I'm sorry. And what was the last small store I built? I think it was this one here, wine and spirits. So that's the last one there. Souvenir, Northwest Memories, there we go. And we'll have beer garden here because it's the only thing I can actually put on a rooftop restaurant currently. There we go. Those guys will also need water, so I may as well feed that over. I think they'll all want cable TV. Well, the tiny guys don't need it, but the guys at the end will, and they'll also want gas. I don't think the apartments ever need a third line, which is a bit weird, but I suppose they've got mobile phones if they're that rich. So there we go, and then it's just got a timer until someone actually moves in, because until someone actually moves in, you don't have to actually wait for tenants, like I said, and they pay a lot in rent once you get a big luxury one. Now I'm going to continue with the naming theme, so this will be 38A, and then whatever's there will be 38D. Then we got the offices on this side, although I did have to build a limousine charter then, because apparently they ran out of limos to build, because if something comes under too much stress you have to build another one, otherwise people start getting annoyed. I'll be like, I couldn't answer all the calls yesterday. That's an annoying size. We'll just have 2 medium offices because that fits nicely where I've got the wiring cabinet and plumbing cabinets. Then we'll have a nice restaurant here. We won't make it a luxury one, we'll make it just a large restaurant. And then we'll have, I don't know, large office maybe? Yeah, I'll leave a extra space, but that's fine. Then we can have trash at the end here, along with recycling, and there'll be one space there where I'll just put a glass wall there, along with a nice potted plant. There we go. I mean, it looks a bit dreary there, but... Okay, so what was the last medium office I did? Bifucks. Okay, but that's not that's a large office. Was these guys, I believe, which is financial planners, so I want this to be medical, cosmetic, dental suite, and this one can be creative / technical. Oh, and the last large restaurant I did was a brunch spot, so this will be a family restaurant, orange and blue family restaurant there. And then that one was, I think, a tech startup, so we'll make this a medical one as well. There we go. Luckily, offices don't really compete for customers because that's all arranged beforehand, so it's not like, oh, someone comes in and it's like, oh, I fancy this thing today. They won't get annoyed at you for building more medical offices near them. So yeah, I have to think about that there. Most of them will probably want phone lines. And I know the medical offices at either end will need water, and I think the restaurant will probably need gas. That should do us fine, and then that'll be a floor. Ooh, I've accrued enough influence to fast track something with buzz. So I've now got enough buzz for any media campaign, which I may as well call in a favour for. There we go, so now I can take on another contract if I want to. Let's do posh pads. Oh, I've already gotten the thing for that, so loft life it is then. Oh, I need to do loft apartments. Loft apartments, I believe, means these ones that are 2 floors. Just check quickly. Where would it be? Here. So it needs to be the expansive loft ones, which are things like this, instead of just the smaller ones here. So if I want to do that, then I need to get extra things. But I'm not going to do that in this video because it's a faff. Okay, there we go, and we've got another floor. Now, is anyone currently pissed off, or are any of the people underground overworked? I mean, the recycling collection there is pissed off, but none of the other recycling collection places are, so that just means that it's full up, but they can fill up other collection places. And then I've got an extra floor to expand any storage bays or extra services that I need, just so I don't have to keep building new floors and shit like that. It's quite a nice building, I think, even though it's a little unsymmetrical. Oh, and there's a bunch of stuff here where you can show where all the pipes are and shit, and it looks like a fucking London Underground map if it was bizarrely just sort of straight line thing, as well as satisfaction. So there's some places that are a bit pissed off, but generally it's positive. These places here are, it's quite negative at the ends, I think. People near the lifts are quite happy. That's generally my takeaway, although you're fucking miserable. Profitability, that's going to be really red. Some places are happy, like the small restaurants here are happy, but the places at the end really aren't, because there's not a lot of foot traffic going through there, because they, like, if someone wants to go there, they have to just choose to go there, not just going to walk through and go, oh, look at that. Aesthetics? Oh, this is the only place that has aesthetics, because it's the lobby, and we haven't really got aesthetics anywhere else. And you can see that traffic does largely correlate with profitability, except for these places here, because for some reason they're just miserable, but oh well. Oh, and there's a lot of noise. It's a very noisy place, which is why a lot of people are pissed off. Smells, again, it's quite smelly in a couple of places. And the trash is just over here. I think the red parts are just where it's overflowing. And then there's grime, which a couple of places are getting, but I mean, my renovation office is meant to take care of that. It's nice just looking at the ant farm, even though like on my computer it shits itself at this sort of place because it has to just deal with a lot of computing, but just looking at the base here. Oh, and we need more janitors apparently, and more computer and IT services, which you can put under here. Oh, by the way, yeah, because I got annoyed that everywhere was just called dry cleaners or security office, I started putting the names of whoever's at the top of here on each one, so it's just like, oh, this is the one that works for these guys. So yeah, that is Project Highrise. It's a lovely management game. It's just, look at the nice background music, and it's just nice little people running about doing things, and they're all programmed to do things, and they like certain restaurants, and these guys will get annoyed at you if they don't have enough regulars. They have 4 regulars. I don't know who they are, but they do. and you can control rent sliders here and then have an overall rent slider, which I think I just had to put up because everyone was getting just pissed off that the rent was too high or something, or that they weren't turning over enough profit, and then I had to put down their rent so that they felt more happy about me. Now we're making 40,000 a day. Look at that. Anyway, probably just gonna end it there. Very much recommend this, even though it's a bit difficult getting started out and it's a bit of a balancing act. I mean, I like just doing it on this mode where it's unlimited just because then you have to stress out, but the stress out kind of makes it the game, I think. But yeah, I very much recommend this. It's just a lovely little tower management thing, and you can make it as big or as small as you want, and you can just do offices or you can just do apartments, although I'd recommend doing a mixture of both. But then, you know, you got to pay more for services if you've got a mixture of both. If you just have offices, then you've just got the office services. So yeah, it's all about a balancing act and how you decide to, what you decide to place where and how many utilities you decide to get, and you have to sort of make sacrifices by deciding, oh, I'll make this investment because I know that I'm going to have a lot of places that'll need phone switchboards, so I'm going to make a big investment of 150, which you can do if you want. I mean, I think I have like way too much left over on each thing. Let's just look at my, I mean, the ODA report helps you just look at how much you actually use. The most expensive thing is services, but that doesn't even really go anywhere near just how much rent I'm getting off of. Apartments actually rent the most, I think. But then you need restaurants and retail to get higher level tenants, so you need to balance that as well, and whether you invest in that. And that sometimes they can be annoying with that they want less rent because they're not getting enough customers. Because, I mean, obviously an apartment, and I mean, it's not that obvious for an office, but neither of them depend on customers. The stores and restaurants will get a bit annoyed at you if there's too much competition or they don't have enough customers, and then they'll want the lower rent, and it's just all balancing out. I have way too much electricity left as well. Like, I have far more available than I've actually used just because I got basically a floor of electricity. But anyway, I'm gonna end it there before I start building an entire fucking building. I've been Firebolt, and this has been Project Highrise. Again, I would recommend it. Nice, just little management thing. I was just going to try and find the button for how to just view it as it is without all the HUD and stuff, but I'm inept. I'll probably find it like right after recording everything. But anyway, yeah, again, it's just a nice little relaxing management thing. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, bye.